today. My name is Simmonds. I'm the current CEO of a large private equity firm here in Mayfair. The reason I'm speaking to you today is I'd like to comment on some recent developments that have happened with my previous relationships with a gentleman by the name of Mr. Shahin Miah. Shahin Miah was introduced to me about 6 years ago, and this particular gentleman, we met through a very good business relationship referral, and that's how I believe business is done, through referrals. Well, the gentleman came into my office, very powerful, very confident, and people like that I tend to get on with. He showed me a direction that I'd never really considered, especially when looking at private equity, and that was a direction of maybe formatting a sales floor or an experienced broking floor to have that drive and success, the same drive and success that I had when I had the foresight of setting up my organisation. Well, I now have individuals that are like mini CEOs. These gentlemen have elegance, they have stature, they have success, they have keys, they can open any door. And that to me is what matters. All this is through by the gentleman, Mr. Shahin Miah. Mr. Shahin Miah, from this point, I was very, very impressed with. Impressed so much so that I introduced him to a number of my colleagues and a number of my associates in the industry, especially with private equity. But I didn't stop there. I went one step further. I was sceptical, as we all probably are, and that was using that online tool called online marketing. None of us really understand it. But, as with anything, it's difficult to use or difficult to understand if we've never been taught. So, I'm not a believer in learning new stuff. I've learned enough over my years. But what I did do was I got somebody that understands it. Someone that wrote the book. Someone that took the chapter and published it. That was Shahin Miah. Shahin Miah identified for me an area, a niche market of using something called Google AdWords. Google AdWords, again, something I don't still understand and I probably never will. But, hey, that is what it is. That's why I have Shahin Miah. He's managed to increase my company revenue. Let's talk about the figures. I'm a figures man. My revenue has gone up over the last 6 years by 228.7%. In the last 5 months, by using Google AdWords, again, something I don't understand, it's increased on a revenue of 21.8%. Now, that's not going to change my life, but I tell you what it will do. If I continue to utilise and work with the said individual, Mr. Shahin Miah, I'm confident, in fact, I am certain that this relationship will most certainly and definitely bring my company not only into a greater platform than it already is, but take us from our Park Lane offices to dominating most of Mayfair. All I can say is, if you want a recommendation, this gentleman gets my stamp of approval. Speak to Mr. Shahin Miah today.